YouTube, what's going on, guys? It's been a while since I posted on this channel, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a different type of video today. It's going to be a little bit of just me going through everything that I take exception with in set 2 and how I can improve on it for set 3. Because let's be honest, man, even if you liked set 2, it wasn't, objectively speaking, you have to admit it wasn't as good as set 1. There was a lot of objective flaws and just misses across the board. Let's go through it. So let's start with, let's go to the programs, and I'll give you an example of some of the most frustrating ones. We'll go to the Father's Day program. I'm sorry if you hear static. I'll try and go real quick. God, I wish I got rid of that. Can I just back out and go back in? Will it? Nope. The end of a program that has 70 stars is a 97 overall Ken Griffey Jr. That's not great. The captain of the program is at the very end of the program. So you can't, by the time you get that captain, you're already able to use the tier 3 boost because that's all, you already have all the other cards. It should have been at the beginning of the program like every other series, every other program, so you can actually enjoy the team build at least while you're grinding for it. A bigger problem with that was that in this program, right, you have moments for Matt Holliday and Jackson Holliday, yet those 299s, the best cards in the Father's Day team build, are in packs. And then it also says on Griffey Sr.'s captain card that only the cards in the Father's Day program get the boost, yet those 299s, the Jackson and Matt Holliday cards, get the boosts after they've made a change. So it makes no sense. To me, if you had to ask me, it feels like they had a plan to have those cards at the end of the program and decided that we can make a little bit more of a, we can stretch it out more. We can get people to buy more packs if we put those and we lock them behind diamond duos. Not a great strategy. Every program should have a 99 at the end of it, at least one. It won't break the game. There's already tons of 99s you give up for free, right? And on to my next point, that kind of leads me into a perfect point here. I think this is something that people aren't really realizing. Everyone wanted this XP reward path back, but I think there's a big problem here with this, is that, look at this boss pack. Again, sorry for the static. I'll just lower the sound. This is a core issue with set 2, and I think it all comes back to this. These 97s aren't great. They should still be 99s. These World Series rewards need to be better. BR rewards need to be better. Event rewards can't be 97s. It's got to be 99s. Why? Well, there's already a lot of 99s from set 1 that were still available to be used in the game. But also, you put juiced ass 99s in an easy to acquire pack where you get 3 out of these 5 players just for existing. You get a Josh Donaldson who's better than every World Series award we've seen so far. You get a Chase Ali who's pretty good on paper, better than last year's Retro Finest, very solid, not the best, but very solid. You get a Greg Maddux who's one of the better pitchers in the game on Legend, I think. He's actually very nasty. You get a Grady Sizemore, the best that we've seen in this game in a long time. And you get Mariano Rivera. You get arguably the best relief pitcher in the game, the best closer of all time, just for playing the game. And along the way, you get some 97s too, right? Some really good team pieces, like Loop is in everyone's bullpen. Castellanos is a legitimate God Squad card offensively with the DH this year and being able to play first and third. Rendon's not even bad either, man. Way too many cards that they give out that rival these cards, and it makes it so we have to get 99s. That's a big issue. 5 99s, and you know, other than Grady and Utley, the other 3 like are legitimate like studs. They're stud cards. I would argue Mo is like a staple on people's team once you get him. Going back, this is the second worst program of the year, in my opinion, the Future Stars program. 150 stars for a 97 Jason Dominguez, a 97 Kyle Harrison, who's got a Joe Random pitch mix, and a 97 Bobby Miller, who's like a diet version of what we were hoping to get. With the captain being randomly Kyle Tucker, I don't really know why, who's got reverse splits, and his boosts give more to lefty hitting, so he further makes him useless. Why is he a Future Stars captain? I don't know how long. Michael Kopech, again, he's buns. He has no outlier. He's been a Future Star for 5 years. You make this program, if you just leave everything as is, and you make Bobby Miller and Jason Dominguez the last 2 cards, and you make them 99s, they're infinitely better. But there's a couple things that really rub me the wrong way about this program. One is that there are cards in here that are 92s, 93s, 94s. Every card should be a minimum 96, 97. Fact. Next, this boost with this team is, we did it in our Future Stars video. I tweeted it out if you want to check it out. I'll link that tweet in the description where I break down if you just use the captain boost with the players you get from the program, or if you use the captain boost with all the 99s or best cards that are set 1 Future Stars. They did this again. We have a few weeks left to use these cards, but they're the only ones that make this team worth a damn. And even with these guys on the team with the boost, this team is just pretty good. It's not even like competitive God Squad team. They're just pretty good. And again, you have to hope you pull one of these guys from the pack. And if you don't, if you want the best team, right? If you want the best, you want the most amount of this content, you want the most out of this content, you got to buy all these cards off the market. Again, it all comes back to that. But sir, this easy solution, you just make Dominguez and Bobby Miller 99s. One pitcher, one hitter, one future star pitcher, one future star hitter 99s. It's not going to break the game. It gives people, this is a 7 to 8 hour grind minimum. You get something out of it. Right now, it's just not great. And it's the same thing. PXP missions, a bunch of moments, a showdown, a conquest. To their credit, to give them a dub, they did make event wins repeatable. Very nice. And they did make the PXP a lot less, 2,500, and it's repeatable. So shout out to them for that. You get 5 stars for this. That is a nice change, but does not excuse the program structure we have this year. Now, Tops Now is better than it was last year, but it's all just filler. I will say that at least in the May Tops Now, we did get 2 free really solid 99s with the Kimbrel and the Kenley Jansen. So it at least has some value there. But again, filler. At least there's captains to be made or captains to be had there that can kind of improve your team. But here's something that kind of scratched my head here. If you go to the captains for June Tops Now, Nolan Arenado, you look at this card, his boosts give you plus 15 contact and power versus lefties, plus 10 clutch, plus 5 fielding ability. He literally only gets 5 fielding ability from his own boost. Nothing else registers. Now, my problem with that is if you're going to do that boost, I get it. Make him a reverse splits Nolan Arenado and maybe put those clutch points somewhere else to help him out a little bit. This is just like someone made the boosts and then made the card and didn't even look at them together side by side. It is pointless for this card. It doesn't help him at all. I understand not every captain is going to get a crazy boost from their own boost, but it's got to at least help the card out other than 5 points higher. Not really reading the room here. Again, missing the mark with captains. And speaking of captains, I can tell you that in my opinion, my perspective, they notice that people aren't using captains as much as they want us to. So instead of asking around, taking feedback in, adjusting with live balance updates these captains to make them more appealing, raising their overalls, reducing parallel requirements, whatever, they've just made every single program feature a captain and then lower all the cards overall, so you don't get anything out of these cards unless you use a captain. It's forcing you to use it, right? They think that they could push it on us like that. It's obvious with TA2, every one of those cards, with the exception of a few, are only good if you use that team's captain. It's just the way it is. People asked me at the beginning of the year, do you think captains are going to be a good feature? I said, I'm worried that if they don't balance these, if they're on top of their game, if they're not, it's going to be a bad feature. It's going to die out, or it's going to start being a crippling feature in the game. And it is. It's forcing all these cards to be artificially lowered just so they can force us to use captains. It's not a good strategy. It's not a good strategy, right? You have to just listen and make these balances. And I can give a couple changes for captains. I put a tweet out demonstrating it, but either remove the parallel requirements for some of these cards or keep the parallel requirements. But if you hit a captain to tier 3, if you get a captain to that, you're able to upgrade that card to their 99 version and still keep the boosts. This way, it rewards you for grinding with the card. You get something out of it other than just gatekeeping it behind a parallel requirement. And at the same time, you don't have to just have a worse card on your team because for some reason they chose the team's best player to be their captain. The example being 99 Aaron Judge can't be used on the Yankees team because you have to use a shitty Judge. You can't use 99 Corey Seager because you have to use a worse Corey Seager. And he's one of the better captains. You can't use a better Shohei Ohtani because the Angels captain's a bum Shohei Ohtani who doesn't even have outlier or any good numbers. So there's that. That's an easy way to make that work. You either scrub the parallel requirements and let people just try every captain as they want to, or you keep it, make the captains better, but also make it so P3, maybe even P4, but preferably P3 gets you to be able to upgrade the card. That would make it so much better, because if you just go over to this, I'll just show you guys what I'm talking about here. This Aaron Judge, right, is just, it's abysmal. 47 reactions unusable with 50 speed, 46 vision. He only gives out a power boost and an arm strength boost. That doesn't help him at all. He's going to be an immediate swap out. They have the numbers. They know what's going on in their game. When you run a captain in this game, the first thing you do when they come up to the plate is you pinch hit them for another player. It's not supposed to retain the boost immediately, but it does. Maybe they don't know how to fix it, but I think they don't want to fix it because otherwise, if they make that change, if they fix it so you can't pinch hit for a captain until the 6th inning, you will quite literally see 0 captains in the game, because that's the only way people are using them, even with some of the best captains. And another problem is there can be good captains. 95 Mookie and Sammy Sosa, who are on the market that you have to buy. They're actually reasonably usable captains. If you can make these work, you can make 95 captains work for TA. Just gonna say that out loud. That's how it works. Now for the World Series program, not much they could really do here. Dawson's numbers are not bad, but he has two inverted kneecaps. Not great. Whatever. Correa, again, he's a good card. Not better than pack cards. He's just all right. He's probably about around the level of like a Kaiju Takeover card, but then again, I don't know. We have a Lars Nootbaar who's like Jesus Christ, even though he's done nothing in his career really compared to what Correa has done. And then they gave us a Garrett Cole with no outlier and just below average numbers who gets rocked every year. They're a victim of their own choice here, because these two cards, if you just know your game, you know these cards are buns. Dawson hasn't been good since like 19 or 18. Cole hasn't been good since they got rid of his sinker, but just not worth the grind. You got to, I feel like I'm just tearing into them, man, but this is legitimately, these are the problems. These are why people don't play ranked as much. Their ranked system stops at 900. I have farmed 3 of these gold coin, Willy Wonka coin JPEGs and 10,000 stubs. You get 7,500 stubs for a silver tier spin on the wheel. If that's a silver tier reward, how is 10,000 stubs a reward for what only a couple hundred players can get to? It doesn't make any sense. These have to be better. You have to add another 0 to all these stub rewards. You just have to. If you're going to keep these packs, you have to add another 0 to it. It's just not worth. Everyone stops at 900. Everyone knows past 1,000 you're playing for pride, and that's not a good model to have. Also, the ranked program takes way too long. They need to add co-op missions. I've played a ton of co-op or a ton of ranked, and I haven't even, I just barely got past the reward. I mean, I've played a ton of ranked this season. I don't know what my record is, but I've also played a good amount of co-op. I'm 33-2, and in co-op, I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of games too. As far as BR goes, I'm not a huge fan of the model of making the packs non-sellable. I think they should go back to being sellable. And these rewards are just, other than Soriano, these rewards are underwhelming. No one's going to want a relief pitcher for Flawless, and Mini Minoso is just weak. Just weak. So again, there's another issue there. They hold no candles to anybody in these packs. And ultimately, I'm going to end with this. I'm going to end with this. I don't want to make this crazy, but these are just my suggestions. I have to give ideas. So people want to know, how do you balance having good cards in packs, but also giving out good cards and rewards? You don't want packs to be shit, but you don't want them to be the only thing in the game that's good. As you can see, a 99 Kyle Schwarber. He's better than any World Series reward right now, and he's in a pack. Walker Buehler's a little bit, but that's just because he's got no velo, no sinker. That's a problem with their own game. But how do you fix this? How do you have this dynamic that works? Well, you make cards in the programs, BR World Series events, you make them better. That's how you start, right? They should be around the tier of this Kyle Schwarber, Lars Nootbaar-ish, Sandy. That's where they should be, a little bit higher than that, but around there. But how do you maintain balance in the packs where they're not too strong? I do like the Kaiju Takeover idea. I think what they should do is this. You should put really nice 99s in these packs, but of niche players that aren't going to get really good cards anywhere else. A good example, Masataka Yoshida was a great idea. Willie Adames, great idea. See, they're really solid cards, but they're not broken. People aren't like clamoring to get them. Even like a Lars Nootbaar was a good idea. I like that structure. But what do you do for Diamond Duos? You don't put the most sought after cards in Diamond Duos. Maybe chase packs, but definitely not Diamond Duos. My example of a pack that was really good and it knew its place would be the pack with Lance Lynn and Rod Carew was a really good one. Maybe like a little bit better of a card than Rod Carew, but Lance Lynn was like a pitcher that not everyone's going to want to use, but has a really good build, all the right stats. Rod Carew, solid on paper, the best version of a card that we have not seen in a while. Rakes, people like him. That's the level of what Diamond Duo should be. They should be interesting, but they shouldn't be something that that shouldn't be the main draw of every content. They're stepping on their own toes here, and they're sort of fumbling, as you could tell, because they had the Mexico City Series program, which was this elongated program, 10 hours for a 94 Grisham, all core cards, and the best thing that thing did was give you core cards for Corey Seager. That cannot be. Content's whole identity can't be good for something else. That's not good. Clearly, they know that was a mistake, because for the London series, they dropped a free pack in the store with 595 overall cards of Cubs and Cardinals, which was a great thing. That's how free cards for collections should be given out. And it's funny to me because they were 95s. They were 1 overall higher than a 10-hour program grind card for 2 clicks of a button. But that's how it should be. So W to them for that. They're not understanding their own system right now. They're sort of fumbling and losing their way. And it's obvious they're just kind of scrapping together things. They're throwing things aside. They're putting new things in. If you're going to make programs or bullshit that's for other things, do it in the way that they did with the London series. Any program that is supposed to be what we're doing in the game, the weekly content, has to have a 99 or 2 at the end of it. You have to have a carrot. That's just how it's going to have to be. Make World Series and BR cards better. Make BR and event cards sellable. Make Diamond Duos cards good, but not the thing to do. And keep Kaiju the same. I actually kind of like Kaiju because you have to have packs be interesting. Packs haven't been good since what, 1918? They haven't been good. No one really wants them. They had to scrap headliners because they weren't good. Oh, and maybe increase the odds on these Diamond Duos. I've opened up trillions of these things and I've pulled the Diamond Duo twice, and that was in set 1 first week. So I don't know. And I've seen the same sentiment echoed by others. But that's really it, man. not trying to make this a video where I'm just shitting on the game. I'm trying to give, I'm not just complaining, because that would be, if it's void of all suggestion and ideas and solution. Constructive criticism relies on me taking a problem at hand and offering a solution to two. Hopefully I did that in this video. Let me know if you agree with my ideas, or if you have some of your own, or if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys soon. Peace.